peeps, it's Miss Georgina here. So today we are going to do a paint night, and as you know, today is Chinese New Year. So every year in the Chinese culture, there is a, please excuse that noise, it's my refrigerator. Do not freak out. But as I was saying, every year in the Chinese culture, there is zodiac animal attached to that year. So for 2021, the animal is, can we guess? Do we think it's a horse? Do we think it's a dragon? Do we think it's a rat? Well, if we go backwards, if we rewind to 2020, 2020 was the year of the rat. And if we fast forward to now, 2021, it is the year of the ox. So I have some facts. I have some facts to share with you about the ox. Chinese zodiac sign for 2021 is the ox. And it says that the sign of the ox occurred in 1961, 1973, 1985, 1997, 2009, and now 2021, and it will come back and loop back again in 2033. Wow, 2033. So the year of the ox happens every 12 years. Like, how cool is that? And so there are 12 total zodiac animals. So those are the rat, the ox, the tiger, the rabbit, the dragon, the snake, the horse, a goat, monkey, rooster, dog, and a pig. So you guys can sort of figure out what zodiac animal you are based on the year that you were born, which is really really cool. For me, I looked it up, and I am actually a goat, which it's kind of funny because I never like thought about the goat being my animal, but it is. All right, so I thought that it would be a really cool idea to celebrate Chinese New Year doing a paint night with an ox. So you guys will all get your grab and go kits from the library, and basically what you will be getting in those kits will be a canvas like this big. So you will have a lot of surface space. You will be getting an ox. This ox was made out of contact sheet, which was actually kind of really cool to make with the Cricut. So you will be getting this. You will be also getting some red paint and some gold paint. I chose red and gold because these are the traditional Chinese New Year colors. And it's just gonna give it a nice pop, and just gonna be really fun for us to work with. So I will be putting in your grab and go bags little cups, and so these cups will be filled with the red and the gold so that you can go ahead and paint away. Also, fun fact, I did not provide a paintbrush, so if you need one, ask your adult. If they have one around the house, you know, it's just so that you can go ahead and paint. So just a quick rundown of like how we're gonna do this. So basically you're gonna have your canvas. We are gonna go in first with the gold. So you're going to paint the entire canvas gold, and then you're gonna go ahead, let it sit for a few minutes, let it dry, make sure it's completely dry, and then you're gonna go ahead and you're going to take your ox, and you're gonna go ahead and peel it. You're gonna go ahead and peel it. Ooh, like that. You're gonna go ahead and peel it. And you are going to place it in the center of your canvas. Once you've done that, you make sure that it's nice and stuck on there. And then you're gonna go in with your red. So you're going to cover all that gold around the ox in the red. And then, you know, if some gold peeks through, you can either go over it if you have some more paint, or you can just let it be. I would recommend for you to sort of try to make it as bold red as possible. Just because once you peel off the ox is the one that's going to be gold. So you don't want some gold peeking on the side. That will distract from your ox in the center. So enough about these silly instructions, right? So let's get down to the art. I will also provide like a quick instructional sheet in your grab and goes. All right, guys, so we're gonna start with our painting right now. I'm probably gonna be moving the camera around a little bit, so just bear with me. But I wanted to also let you know that we will be working with acrylic paint. So please, please, please dress for a mess, because got it all over my hands already, and that may take a lot of scrubbing to get out. So don't wear some nice clothes that you really, really like, because if they get stained, it's gonna be really hard for it to come out. But let's get started. Whew. Okay guys, so I'm back. So before you start any painting project, please make sure that you cover any area that you will be painting on, so any surface. So I am working on my kitchen table, so I got a paper back from CVS. I cut it up and then I put it as my sort of like mat, or my painting mat. So I have all my utensils here. I have my paint board and my what is this called? Oh my god, my contact sheet ox, my paintbrush, and my paint. So we're gonna just go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna move you guys a little bit in. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the gold. So I'm just using this little lid as my paint dispenser. You guys will have little cups filled with paint that you can use. So again, dress for a mess and just have fun with this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some gold paint, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put it on here. So don't be afraid of just putting it on. It may take a little bit to stick, but don't worry about it. So just go ahead and paint. want to make sure that the center of the canvas is the one that's more solid in the gold. And all right, so then you're gonna do that, and you're gonna make sure that the paint is sort of smoothed out so you don't have the weird creased lines in there. So now that I'm done with my gold paint, I have some patches around the edge, but that is totally fine because we will cover all that up with the red. So remember that we will be covering all the edge around with the red. So now what you want to do is you want to let this sit for a minute, let it dry. Acrylic paint dries quickly, so let it sit for a minute or so. Go ahead and wash your brush and get it ready to start painting with the red. So go ahead and wash this, let this canvas sit for a minute, and I'll come back. Okay, so now our canvas is all dry, so you can sort of pat it, make sure it's dry, and then you're gonna go ahead and you're going to take your Ox contact sheet, and you are going to carefully peel him off. You can save this paper if you want, so that after you finish this project, you can go ahead and stick it back on. Be very careful when pulling him off. It can be a little scary, and you don't want to lose any part. Okay. Oh gosh, it's very sticky. It's very sticky, so be very careful. And you have your canvas, so go ahead and stick him in the center, or at the center where you want him to be. So I think for me, I'm gonna stick him right here. And then you can sort of fix him as you like stick him on. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's his tail. Okay. So I've put him on there. I'm going to fix him a little bit. All right. If he is not exactly at the center, don't worry. It's okay. Okay, so pat him down. Make sure that it's really stuck. It's really stuck on there. All right, and so I'm gonna lift this up so that you can see it. There we go. You see? So just make sure, you know, no edges are sticking up, that everything is nice and secure. So now I'm gonna put the canvas back down. I've cleaned my brush, and I'm just gonna do this to make sure. I've dried it so it's not wet. I'm gonna make sure that all the contact sheet is on there, because I would not want any red paint to seep through underneath. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna have your little tubs of paint, of red paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start painting. And you see the red sticks on better than the gold did a little bit. It's stronger color, so it reads quicker. So let's just get to painting. I am painting over the ox just because that way it can get really next to the edges. If I didn't do that, it would be very hard. So it should not affect when you try to unstick it. But then just when you do unstick it, be very gentle with it. Whoops. Okay, so this is one coat of red paint. It looks pretty good. There's not a lot of gold seeping through, and there are some like stroke marks left if you look at it closely. I kind of like it that way personally because it looks kind of cool to me. However, if you don't like that, you can do kind of like straight strokes across, so it's not like two strokes meeting at the center, kind of like mine. And then the other thing I would suggest is we're gonna let this sit for about, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe. And then I'm gonna let it dry, and I'm gonna go in with a second coat of red paint, just so that it really gives it that like pop of color, like that pop of red that we like. So hang out, wait a few minutes till it's dry. You can pat it down, make sure it's not still wet, because if it's wet and we add more paint on it, it will create more stroke lines. So I will catch you in a little bit. All right, so we're back. We can go ahead now and add our second coat of red paint. Make sure we cover up all our gold, all our stroke lines. Just make it a very dark red. So this would be your last coat. we will let this sit a little bit longer. You can go and wash your brushes, make sure everything is nice and clean, and then we will come back and we will take off the contact sheet and see how our final product looks. Now that our paint, our red paint is all dry, touched it, nothing's on my hands, we are gonna go ahead and we're going to peel off the ox and see how it looks. You may need to get yourself, if you can't find an edge to do that, you may need to get yourself, so I found an edge to peel off right here. Let me see if I could show you. Oh gosh, okay, let's see. Bear with me, you guys. Okay, so I found a little edge right here. So you can lay this flat and start carefully pulling the contact sheet up. All right. Oh, look at how cool that looks, you guys. Oh boy. All right, so peel, peel, peel. All right, very carefully. Remember, you don't want to yank it all at once. And if you did save that paper that I showed you here, you may be able to save it for future projects. So let's keep peeling carefully, carefully, and done. So I'm gonna actually put the ox back on the contact sheet because I think it would be cool to reuse him later on. So I'm just gonna pop him on there. I can fix him later. But look at how this looks, you guys. Look at how cool that looks. So this is our Chinese New Year paint night. So I'm going to fix this a little bit so I can see you all. All right, guys. So how cool did this come out? Didn't this come out so cool? All right, so now what you could do is you can leave it like this, or you can also get a Sharpie, which I kind of thought about this right now, but you could get a Sharpie and on a corner, maybe like this corner down here or this corner down here, you could, I mean, if I did it, I would do this corner, there's more space. I would write in nice handwriting 2021, year of the ox. So that would be really neat if you did that on here. But again, look, it looks really cool. This is what it's gonna look like for you. And you can hang it out in your room, or give it to someone as a gift if you wanted to. I really do hope you enjoy this craft. This was so much fun to make. It was easy, it was not messy, but again, dress for a mess because paint does get on you. My hands are washed now, but they were stained. I hope you enjoyed this. I would really love to see what your final products look like. So if you can, just send us an email and let us see what the turnout looks like. All right? Have fun, stay safe, and I hope you enjoyed tuning in to this paint night with me. All right? Bye, peeps. Bye-bye.